You're watching Thrifty Kaniffy. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thrifty Kaniffy. Today I'm going to do a random ramblings. I'm going to respond to all four of the open tags that have recently been presented in the knife community. The first one by North Star Knife Reviews, and that's the tiny knives, and then the three Lockback open tags of medium, small, and large sizes by William Knife Life. I'm going to hop right into it, and the first one I have is for the tiny knives tag. This is a 2-inch size handle. What we got here is just a little Rough Rider tiny copperhead, and I believe this is the amber jig bone. I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. It could be brown, but got two blades just like a normal copperhead, like an inch 3/4 blade, something like that. So there's your little Turkish blade in the front there, and then in the back you got this little beefier clip blade. But they're super thin blades, and it's not much anything more than just a novelty piece, but kind of cute and fun. It's fun to play around with. And the next up, I've got a Congress. This guy's got 4 blades, and they're all tightly packed in there. A couple of springs hold it all in there. So you got this little pin blade on the right, and then you got a little sheep's foot, little bigger blade on the left. And then if we flip it around, got this little coping blade, right? This tiny little guy. It's like even with the tang, you got like maybe 3/4 of an inch there. Oh, really small. And then the final blade, you've got this larger sheep's foot, which is almost a little over an inch there. So yeah, just a fun little, tie it to your keychain type knife and have some fun playing around and cutting yourself. And finally, we've got this little Stockman, and it's got exactly the same type of blades you might expect. And it's got the little clip blade. This one's a little larger than most of them. This one's a full 1.5 inches. All right. And then you got your spade blade. Cute little spade blade. They even put that angle on there for you. Isn't that cool? And then on the other side, you got this little sheep's foot. So, just like a normal little Stockman. I think they may actually have done a better job not having blade rub on these than they do some of the bigger ones. But there you have it. So there's 3 tiny knives by Rough Rider. Yellow comp in the Stockman, tobacco brown bone in the Congress, and the amber jig bone in the copperhead. And then I would be remiss not to include this. This one's become pretty popular amongst the knife community. I think Big Red EDC is a big fan of this one. It's a little angry watermelon, as he's calling it. And it's just a little lockback with the stainless steel liners. The assisted open. Got the little flick. And, got the little 1.5 inch blade with this black coating on the blade. And it's a frame lock. You just push it over and close it up. Neat little knife. Now this one's actually, legitimately useful. It's not just for looks and show, a little novelty piece. I mean, it's novel in the idea that it's small, but you actually can use that. So there are my 4 tiny knives. All right, so up next we have William Knife Life's open tag for small lockbacks, and let's do that. So up first, I just want to get this one out of the way because I think it's one that everyone sort of expects to see. I'm not 100% sure, but I know at least 2 other guys. North Star definitely selected one of these, and I'm pretty sure William Knife Life selected one of these for his small lockbacks as well. So this is definitely going to be one commonplace to that category. I mean, how could it not be? It's a really great little lockback with a blade that's useful, and it's not just like a little wimpy blade on it, like maybe a peanut has or something like that. So yeah, just nice little thick bodied blade with a nice place to put your finger there for a grip, and give you a little 2.5 finger grip, a nail nick on it, that works really well. It's really well positioned. I like where that nail nick is. It just gives you that perfect fold over, and nice tight lock up, no wobble in that. Just cool little knife, and that definitely belongs on the list. So let's go with that for number 1. And then next have this old timer, which is the Old Timer 1OT, and it measures just over 2.25 inches, and it's got this nice little bail on it for a keychain, and I'd say it's just the right size for like a keychain, because this blade will actually, it's not like one of the little tinies, and it's not much bigger in terms of length, but it's a useful knife, and nice lockup, right? Nice smooth action on this one. A little cleaning, and I got this thing nice and smooth. So yeah, you can hear that lockup, really nice. No wobble or anything. So this is the Delrin handle that you'll see on old timers and stuff. And this one is, like I said, just over 2 inches, about 2.25 inches, I'd say. So again, nice little small locking blade there. And then its bigger brother is this Bearhead. This is the Old Timer 3OT. And it's just slightly larger, just a little more length to it. This is a full 3 inches. And again, it's been cleaned, so it's nice and smooth. But you have this blade that's, roughly 2.5, just slightly shorter of that. 2.25 inches. And then the cutting edge is right at 2 inches. So yeah, just two really good little locking blade knives that are useful, No sense having a knife if you can't use it, right? And of course, I've shown this one many times. This one probably just barely fits into the category. It's slightly over 3.5, just barely. We'll just call it 3.5 inches. And again, this is the right edge. I can't remember the model number right off the top of my head. Let me see if I can find it. Here we go. Here's the model number. 210217-3. Right edge. And this is one I carry a lot. And got this stainless steel bolsters, Some are saying this is essentially a Barlow, which I can see that. And then nice locking drop point blade with a nice edge to it, nice grind on it. And the overall length with the tang is 2.5, and then without just the cutting edge is about 2.25, let's call it. So yeah, nice little right edge knife, small lockback. These 4 fit into that category, I think, nicely. All right, so up next we've got the medium lockbacks, and I think I've shown every one of these knives already on the channel, but I don't know if there would be any surprises here. But let's start with this. This is the 4.25 inch right edge locking folder. Now this one is, I don't think has any particular type of name, just kind of a generic name, but there you have the nice clip point blade there with the open nail nick. long nail nick. And it's just a basic, you know, smaller version of the Buck 110, I guess. And you've got the lanyard hole here with stainless steel bolsters. Real cheap example of a folding knife. Haven't really used it much. Haven't really carried it much. It's kind of just an in-betweener that I haven't really used much. And not really much to say about it. It's a pretty inexpensive knife, but locks up well. You know, there's no blade wobble, and certainly within everybody's budget. All right, next up, I have my favorite toothpick. This is the French Tickler. I think William Knife Life actually showed this one too. This one's kind of cool because it's got the brass bolsters, and not a lot of the knives that I have brass bolsters, at least not from Rough Rider, so kind of neat to have that. And of course with the toothpick, my main complaint was always that, you know, it's not a knife you get a lot of confidence with to use. But with this locking mechanism now, I mean, that's a work knife there. So no problem at all carrying that. Really big fan of this one. This one's, let me check the model number for you. This is RR204. So if you're interested in that one, there is the model number, RR204. All right, so up next, we've got another one I've showed on the channel. If you'll remember, I did a comparison between this one and a, oh gosh, now I've forgotten the name of the company, but they're the mother company of the Brother brand. And they were really similar. I mean, I really couldn't tell much difference in the quality of the knife, other than the handle material is a little different. But I guess if I had to choose, I would pick this one because I just like the dark wood. And you can see that it's a nice, like, pack of wood type layered composite wood. And this is essentially just a sod buster, you know, your 4-inch handle with the locking blade. And this pretty generic looking blade, not a lot to it. Just a nail nick and flat grind there, and that's about it. It's pretty about as basic a little farm knife as you get. It's got the excuse me, the nice locking mechanism there. So there's your third one. Now I've just showed this one recently, did a review of it. This is the Rough Rider series, the Working Man series, and it's got the clip. But the nice thing about this is that the main blade has actually a lock on it, so it kind of fits into this category of this medium knives. And of course, it's got the multi blades, but I'm not gonna show you that because it's really not relevant to the discussion. There it is. These are not locking, just the main blade, but it's a Stockman, and then the main blade locks. And you got this green smooth bone handle with the reversible clip that you can put on either side. There's the mounting holes for it over there. Okay, so there you go, Rough Rider. Oh, and the model number of that, if you're interested, I can find that for you real quick. This is RR1958. RR1958. Okay, all right, up next we've got the Case Copper Lock. This is essentially just a copper head that's frame's been reduced down a little bit and just slightly over 3.5 inches. I'd say 3 5/8, let's call it. And it's a brown jig bone, 6.5, I think they call it. And you got the nice nickel silver bolsters, and it's a super slim design. There you go. There's the lock, and you got this nice clip blade on it with the long nail nick. Really nice handle on it. And it's locks up real well. Maybe just this little bit of blade wobble on it, not too bad. But there you have it. So there are my medium lockbacks. you've got your Working Man Series green smooth bone from Rough Rider 1958. This working knife, or farmer's knife with the lock, and that's got the black wood handle. There's the model number of that one. And French tickler, right edge folding knife, 4-inch, and then your case copper lock. Okay, so last up we have the large lockbacks. Again, the open tag from William Knife Life. Let's jump right into the obvious ones. We have the Marbles big old lockback. This is a massive knife, measuring, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 1/4 inches long. It's just got this massive blade on it, and it's really not one that's all that useful, I suppose. I mean, it is if you're really looking to do some serious work, but for practical carry, it's just it's more of a showpiece for me. But there's that. I don't want to spend too much time on this one. I think I've gone over a review of that, and I know William Knife Life included this one in it. There's also this one, which William Knife Life has the black version of this same thing. This is the Timber Rattler. This one has got a different handle on it than his. This is the camel bone, so Pakistani made knife. Pretty low quality, but just a fun showpiece. Again, I've had that in my background a few times in my videos. So there's that, and I'll open it up for you guys. This one's just really too big to even get on screen. But there you have it. Crazy large knife. And I can't even get it closed right now, so we'll just mess with that later. But there you have that. And I really don't have the greatest selection of large lockbacks. This one is the right edge that I showed you. This is the Big John. Now this is your 110 clone. This is the full 5-inch handle with the locking mech, and got that same type clip point blade that you're going to see on a Buck 110. Pretty nice representation of the 110. Of course, doesn't have the same ebony handles, but nice wood handle. Probably pack of wood if I had to guess. And then finally, I have a pretty real poor example of a 110. This is the only one I own. Actually got this at a flea market, and this is a horrible example of the 110, but just to show you that I do actually own one. Someone used it as a hammer. It's got an engraving on it with the guy's name, Allen, on here. I don't know if you can see that, but Allen decided to use it as a hammer. And it's pretty beat up, and the biggest atrocity is what they did to the blade. You can see that that has been greatly ground down. That's more of what it should look like. And so this one has been abused and used, and I didn't spend a lot on it, fortunately. I mainly got it because I knew it came with the sheath, and this one's a real soft version of the 110 sheath, so that's why I decided to get it. But there you have it. By the way, the Big John comes in this vinyl sheath, so you do get that with this knife. But yeah, I don't have the greatest examples of large lockbacks. That's kind of where I'm at with those. So that does it for my open tags. Alright guys, I intended to do a little more, but I think I'm going to have to call it quits on this one. The voice is just not acting right, so I have to cut it a little short. But those are my 4 open tag responses, and I appreciate you guys watching. Hope you guys have a nice day, and take care.